Hi friends, welcome on YourPedia Global, and this video is much demanded video and much demanded modules by many of you, and that is related to micro modules. Now what is micro module is, like, you are already aware that YourPedia Global has larger modules in which the module is for longer duration and lot of components are there, and when you apply abroad, the process starts when you have to identify your research interest, and then you have to identify the professors in foreign universities, and then you have to make your documents, then you have to prepare for your written exams for language like IELTS or GRE, and then you have to prepare for visa interviews. So there are plethora of activities into that. Now there are many of you who are looking only for particular component, not all the components, particular component, and that is where micro module comes. There are many of you who say that we only want the leads, because that is the USP of YourPedia Global. We only want the leads of the professors who are matching my field of interest and they are sitting with fully funded scholarship. Or many of you say we only need help in documentation, and then there are many of you who say that we only want to go for mailing the professor, because warm mailing is something which is the USP of YourPedia Global, how to drop warm mailing to the professors. Now YourPedia Global has come out with a micro module that simply means one particular domain and cost is also less, and these modules are for MS also, for PhD also, direct PhD also, postdoctorate fellowship also. Go to the website of YourPedia Global. Let me show you that. Go to the module, this particular website, and there is a micro module. So PhD, I mean, if you are looking for PhD after masters, you will open this. If you are looking for PhD after BTech or MSc, direct PhD micro modules. If you are looking for MS programs, MS micro module, or for postdoctorate fellowship, these are postdoctorate fellowship micro modules. Let me open PhD micro modules. The moment you open PhD micro modules, there are 4 micro modules in each section, whether for MS or PhD or direct PhD or postdoctoral fellowship, you will see 4 micro modules, each covering one of the domains. Now professor and university shortlisting. You need to identify the professor, university, you need to shortlist the professor as per your research background. Now identification of your research area is the most important component. Many of you are there who are not very clear or not precisely clear to the minutest level what your research area has to be. You will agree with me that entire search of universities and professors and scholarships start with accurate identification of the research interest or background. You should have some research background. If you are going for PhD after masters, you should have very clearly defined research interest if you are going for MS. So उसका आइडेंटिफिकेशन पहला कंपोनेंट होता है जो YourPedia मेंटर्स आपके लिए करते हैं. तो रिसर्च आइडेंटिफिकेशन एंड देन आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ योर रिसर्च इंक्लिनेशन, दैट मॉड्यूल इज देयर वेयर लॉट ऑफ रिसर्च एरियाज विल बी शोन टू यू, एंड देन you will see that what is your research interest और कौन कौन से प्रोफेसर वर्ल्ड ओवर उसमें काम कर रहे हैं, और इसका डिटेल आप देखेंगे तो उसके डिटेल में मेंशन है कितने प्रोफेसर्स आपको मिलेंगे और उसके बाद आप और प्रोफेसर्स कैसे ले सकते हैं. दैट इज द फर्स्ट माइक्रो मॉड्यूल. सेकंड इज वार्म मेलिंग. व्हाट इज वार्म मेलिंग? वी हैव ऑलरेडी मेड अ वीडियो ऑफ दैट. Maximum students do cold mailing. Friends, cold mailing gets cold response, warm mailing gets warm response. Now what is the difference between the two? When you tell the professor that who you are, what are your research background is, it is called cold mailing. अपने बारे में बताना cold mailing, उसके बारे में उसको बताना is warm mailing. So if you tell some professor that you are working in this particular field and this is where I can help you, मैं आपके रिसर्च ग्रुप में आपको ऐसे हेल्प कर सकता हूँ, अगर आप प्रोफेसर को ये बताएंगे, then professor will show more interest in you. And this is our analysis that warm mailing has more probability of the response, positive response from the professor, and warm mailing का warm response आता है. तो ये warm mailing का जो है माइक्रो मॉड्यूल, this is micro module number 2. Now third is प्रोफेसर शॉर्टलिस्टिंग प्लस वार्म मेलिंग असिस्टेंस. ये आपका माइक्रो मॉड्यूल नंबर 3 है, जिसमें इन दोनों को हमने ऐड कर दिया. फिर डॉक्यूमेंटेशन प्रिपरेशन. आपके जितने भी डॉक्यूमेंट्स हैं, जैसे SOPs है, कवर लेटर है, मोटिवेशन लेटर है, ये सारे के सारे डॉक्यूमेंटेशन प्रिपरेशन का जो माइक्रो मॉड्यूल है वो माइक्रो मॉड्यूल नंबर 4 है. ये 4 माइक्रो मॉड्यूल हैं और आप इनका डिटेल देख सकते हैं. जिसकी आपको रिक्वायरमेंट है फ्रेंड्स, वो आप माइक्रो मॉड्यूल ले सकते हैं. एंड एज आई टोल्ड यू, वेदर यू आर गोइंग फॉर PhD, you are going for direct PhD, all these micro modules are already there. Their obviously cost is also less and component wise it is covered. Later on, suppose you took identification of the professor and you realize that okay, documentation also is required, you can keep on adding up. You can take the another module also in case you require it. But if you need all the 4 together, माई एडवाइज इज टेक ऑल द 4 टुगेदर बिकॉज पैरेलल आपका प्रोसेसिंग स्टार्ट हो जाता है और सब कुछ आपको मिलना स्टार्ट होता है. Look forward to mentor all of you friends. In case you are aspiring to join top global institutes with fully funded scholarship abroad, join YourPedia Global. Thank you.